All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis coach and your personal guide. So, today's pod was inspired by a really crucial moment in my day. And this happened maybe, let's say, about 10 or 15 minutes ago as I got ready for my pod. For those of you who've been following along now since 2022, I've been doing these pods religiously, consistently, um, literally every single day, no matter what. And what was fascinating today was, especially if you happen to be watching this and not listening to this on the YouTube audio podcast, but if you're watching this live or later, which is a on our YouTube channel, um, something you'll notice that in my background. So this is not a virtual background; it's an actual room. So if you notice that there is a screen door behind me, and so today, as I was opening the screen door and stepping in to get ready for the pod, this thought uh, came to me, it occurred to me that making it a habit, making it a point to record a live, to record a pod every day. And the pod, of course, is affectionately called the Eye Hypnosis Coach Speaks. This exercise, this activity, this routine has become for me something like the idea of entering into a dojo. So for those of you who are familiar um, with martial arts, you know that the dojo, or the in the Indian context, the akhada, which means essentially this sacred space where we come to practice, and where we learn by making mistakes. We learn to make mistakes, and in doing so, we obviously are improving ourselves. We're improving our craft. And so, what was fascinating today was, of course, the thought that um, me having committed myself to this craft, this art of showing up, this art of producing, this art of performing, this art of creating, an art of creation, is something that I know for years and years to come will stand me in good stead. Now, in what ways specifically? Obviously, at this point, it's hard to predict, especially for those of you who are digital coaches, who are healers like me. Um, you like me know that when we talk about podcasting, when we talk about content creation, we are at a very unusual juncture. By that I mean, maybe if 3 years ago we had talked about creating content, of course this was around COVID, it might have had a very different um, idea to why one should create content and how one should create content. But the way more and more each day, AI or artificial intelligence is literally seeping into every aspect of what we do online, every aspect of what and how we create online. It is definitely hard to predict um, where creating content is going to go in, let's say, the next 1 to 3, maybe even 5 years. But the one thing that I do know is that the what they call hard skills, the skills of showing up, the skills of um, collecting yourself, collecting your thoughts, and being able to project, being able to present, being able to share who you are online, is something that is an art form, in as much as, of course, there is the science to it. Whether you talk about, so I was talking to a client of mine earlier today, and when, for those of you who are in, it's like, if you know, you know. There is obviously the science of what we do. There is the psychology of what we do. There is, to use that expression, there is the hook story and the offer. Um, so, some of these things will only get sharper. They will get more fragmented because that is how things are going. But I truly believe that these skills are what will come in handy even in the future. Whether you happen to be in the future, watching a a a Rahul bot or a hypnosis bot, that is secondary, right? Um, it's like when I say it's a bot, it's an avatar of me. Who knows? Who knows where this will go, how this will shape in the coming months and, of course, years. But one thing I can safely say is it's that these skills that are learned in the dojo, these skills that are honed in the dojo, these are invaluable. So that is truly one of the reasons why I make it a point, and I was just thinking about it as I was getting ready for the pod, that we've now officially crossed 100 days of that challenge that I had set myself, which was the 100 push ups, 100 days. Obviously, I found a way, it was like a hack. So I found a way to go and, to do more than, I think last count was 13 or 14,000 push ups over the last little over 100 days now. But my physical exercise has taken a bit of a spin, meaning that the way things were happening, I kind of um, wasn't really able to focus, or I chose not to focus on um, the physical uh, exercise component. But of course, I definitely amped up the uh, the mental or um, the spiritual um, practice. And obviously I made it a point to focus more on, not obviously, but I chose to focus more on the meditative aspect of what I do. Um, so it's interesting because I know that in many ways a lot of the energy that I've been able to draw on definitely has something to do um, with the practice that I had put in over the last 2.5 3 months, let's say. And there was a time when literally till maybe about 2 weeks ago where I was doing average of between 300 and 400 push-ups. Now again, remember, these are sprint push-ups, as I like to call them. So the point being that I had built a habit, and the realization also is that, like with any habit, it continues to grow when you sustain it. If you take your foot off the brake, as they say, or your foot off the accelerator rather, uh, anything can happen. So to me, it's definitely a reminder that to not take anything for granted, but to just keep showing up and just keep doing this, doing this practice. And one thing I can promise you is that your personal power, your personal um, abilities will only grow with time. So, as I slowly start to now get ready to land this plane, just remember this, that, even if you feel, even if you believe that you're having a hard time, that you're going through a lot, I can promise you this. I don't know about anything else, but I can promise you this, that whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you're struggling with, that in the words of the wise, this too shall pass. So, uh, in the meantime, of course, um, why not tap into it, and why not accept it and study it and learn from it? So rather than pushing it away, I myself have been, quote unquote, guilty from time to time to momentarily want to push it away. But then I've also learned to, like in the dojo, to slow things down, to be more present to the moment and be more present in the moment. And that is what always brings me back to center. Like, for those of you who watched and who listened to yesterday's pod, you know that it was quite a juggle for me yesterday, and momentarily I kind of felt a little off center, but I was able to kind of bring myself back. And then obviously, if I reflect on between today and yesterday, there's been a lot more of um, things kind of settling. And so the lesson in all of this for me, as I'm reflecting on it, is, and I'm sure of value to you as well, that even if you're dealing with difficult circumstances, maybe it's a loved one who's unwell, maybe it's a loved one who is, going through something in their lives, and just by being with them, being around them, um, it's an opportunity for you to learn more about who you are and what you're made of, and also, what you value. So just use this as a reminder for you that what is that practice that you can do daily, and if you keep it simple, it becomes easy for you to replicate it. Like I said, for me, I've kept it simple now for you know coming on 2 years, to literally just show up and record. There have been times when literally I didn't have any of this set up, and I just opened my phone, and I went live, and I spoke for a bit, shared a little bit about what was happening in my life, and that was it. And when and again, remember, it's not necessary that you have to spill your guts, but what's important is that you're showing up to share a little bit of your energy with somebody out there. Because here's the thing, I have no idea when you're watching this, right? And a lot of times, and I see this very often on Facebook, it'll show me that 30, 40, 50 people saw this. Now, was there impressions? Was it a second? Was it 10 seconds? Was it a minute? Was it the entire duration? I wouldn't, most often, I wouldn't even know. But that is not the perspective, or that is not the intention of why I do this, or why even you would do what you do. The In my opinion, the intention is that you're doing it for yourself, to hone your own skills. So wishing you all the very best. And of course, as always, and I said this before, I'll say it again, you know, if you if you right now need help, please reach out to someone who you trust. And of course, if you feel right now the people you don't trust them, and if you feel that if there's any way in which I can help you, just reach out and let me know how I can be of help to you. And I certainly will do whatever I can in my power to help you. So, of course, having said all of that, remember to live with purpose. And I look forward to seeing you in the pod tomorrow. Remember, we will be back tomorrow as well. This is a daily pod, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a wonderful day ahead. God bless, and I will see you soon.